From Jordan Poole going from hero to zero, to him basically fleecing the Wizards out of tens of millions of dollars. This is why Jordan Poole belongs on the bench. This guy went from being one of the best players on the Warriors to being an absolute bum. After finally getting more playing time in the 2022 campaign, JP had a breakout season and soon became a fan favorite. He posted an impressive 18.5 point per game on Stellar, shooting splits of 45, 36, and 92.5. And whenever Steph was unable to play, Poole always did a great job of filling in Chef's shoes. I mean, who can forget the time he averaged 25.4 points per game, along with 5 assists on some insane efficiency during March of 2022. He was going crazy for Golden State, and the best part was that he was able to carry over his fantastic play into the postseason. This dude went out there and put up 17 points per game on 50, 39, and 91 shooting splits, allowing the Warriors to steamroll every team they went up against. What's more, he played like a beast in the finals as well, as he was draining deep threes like they were nothing. Then came the 2023 season, and even though Jordan wasn't as good as the year before, he still averaged 20.4 points on solid efficiency. But once the 2023 playoffs started, it was clear that Poole wasn't as good as he was during the 2022 season. Everyone knew he had one foot out the door, so it wasn't surprising when he got traded to the Wizards. What has been surprising, though, is the fact that Poole's been playing some of the worst basketball of his career in Washington. I mean, this guy looks like a rookie when he's playing for them, and it's just ridiculous at this point. Especially because everyone thought JP was going to be Washington's franchise cornerstone. You see, fans and analysts knew how great Jordan could be because of the 2022 season, and attributed his struggles after that to the whole Draymond situation. It was clear as day that Jordan didn't feel as happy to be in Golden State once Green had sucker-punched him, and his chemistry with the team was down in the dumps. Plus, the Warriors have been full of scorers, so Jordan rarely got a chance to shine, yet still put up great numbers when he did get those opportunities. So things were expected to be different in Washington, since the team doesn't have much offensive firepower outside of Kyle Kuzma, and that's why the NBA world was hyping him up like crazy, saying that he was going to average 35 and 5 on solid efficiency as their first option. On top of that, before the 2024 season started, Kevin Garnett called Poole the next James Harden. Yup, KG expected Jordan to have an unreal season just like Harden did as soon as he left the Thunder, but instead, the exact opposite has happened so far. If you think I'm being too harsh, let me ask you this. Did you watch his first 3 games with the Wizards? Because Poole's performances were straight up embarrassing. In his debut, he only scored 18 points while going 7 for 18 from the field and missing all 6 of his 3-point attempts. Not to mention, Jordan was a turnover machine as he turned the ball over 4 times. The Wizards got blown out by 23 points, and even though Poole scored 27 points in a win the next game, his performance wasn't anything impressive when you look at his efficiency and turnovers. This dude went 8 for 23 from the field and missed 8 of the 12 threes he attempted, while he turned the ball over 5 times. Then in the third game, Washington got dismantled by the Celtics, with JP scoring a measly 11 points on garbage efficiency once again. And you guessed it, he turned the ball over a bunch of times as well. To make matters worse, he's only been more disappointing during November of 2023. As of the 20th, Poole's played in 10 games for Washington, and minus their win against the Hornets, the Wizards lost all of those games. Oh, and let's not forget, Jordan was basically a non-factor in the win against Charlotte as he went 3 for 12 from the field and scored just 11 points. What's more, he's only scored 20 or more points on 2 occasions during November, and his shooting splits weren't too impressive both times either. Besides that, his turnovers have continuously been an issue in every matchup, minus the Bucks game on the 20th. So instead of saving the franchise from tough losses, Poole has been the driving force behind them. On top of that, JP's only been making headlines for all the wrong reasons in the 2024 season. First, you already know I've got to talk about his embarrassing lowlight against the Grizzlies. With around 7 minutes and 12 seconds left in the first half, JP launched a 3 from the left corner, and for some reason, this dude thought he could pull off Steph's signature move, the no-look 3. But unlike Curry, Poole missed badly. Everyone was making fun of him, and things only got worse once the Wizards faced off against the Hawks a few days later. Atlanta was annihilating Washington as they were up by 21 with 7.5 minutes remaining in the third, but Poole still chose to throw a lob off the glass to Kuzma, making everyone clown Jordan even more. Not only did the crowd boo him, but every fan grilled him on social media too. Following that, Let's talk about how horrendous this dude was against the Raptors on the 13th, as he was making the wrong calls and even missed an easy layup in the clutch. Moving on to the viral video where he can be seen not paying attention during a timeout, JP only antagonized himself some more as fans started saying they finally understood why Draymond treated him the way he did. That video's proof of the fact that Poole's attitude is horrible, and if it doesn't change anytime soon, he has to be benched. The thing about Jordan is that he's always been a super confident athlete, and we could see that as early as his rookie season when he trash-talked Damian Lillard. But at least he was able to back it up during his stint with the Warriors, especially during the 2022 campaign. Poole clearly isn't as good anymore, yet he acts like he is, so he desperately needs a reality check. Even KG believes that JP needs to be more serious if he wants to be seen as a legitimate player in the league. According to Garnett, Poole has only been arrogant since joining Washington, and the only way he sees Jordan coming back from the rough start is if he stops being so laid back. One of the best ways to get the point guard back on track is to limit his playing time and have him ride the bench. That'll be a humbling experience for him since the Wizards don't have much talent to begin with, and hopefully he can finally get his act together. Because with how things are going so far, he won't do anything of value for his squad with that cocky attitude of his. Not to mention, if he comes off the bench, he's more likely to be guarded by players who aren't that good, and that could allow Poole to get into a rhythm. Back in his Warriors days, Jordan was rarely guarded by the best defenders of the opposing teams, since they were focused on Steph, Clay, and Wiggins. But now that Poole's the main offensive player besides Kuzma, he's being defended by the best defenders, making it harder for him to score. Though if Jordan's guarded by bench players for the most part instead, he might start scoring more and catch fire eventually. Once that happens, he could be inserted back into the starting lineup and start playing the way Washington expected him to. Or at least I hope he does. After all, can you imagine taking home millions of dollars while playing like an absolute bum? I mean, he's basically finessing the Wizards out of their money at this point. JP's set to earn $27.4 million at the end of the 2024 season, $29.6 million the year after that, $31.8 million following the 2026 season, and $34 million once the 2027 season finishes. Yeah, this dude is making mad cash despite playing the worst basketball of his career. That alone should warrant a punishment such as him being benched straight away. This is up there with Ben Simmons robbing the Nets of tens of millions of dollars. And that's not the type of company anyone wants to be in. Honestly, how does this guy sleep at night knowing that he's being paid so much just to be a disappointment, while people are out here working their butts off to earn a fraction of the money he makes? If I were Poole, I wouldn't be able to forgive myself for that. But based on his attitude, it seems like he doesn't care at all. At the end of the day, the point guard cares more about taking home the money than proving why he deserves it in the first place. So from Jordan basically fleecing the Wizards out of tens of millions of dollars, to him going from hero to zero, that was why Jordan Poole belongs on the bench.